24-19, Ole Miss takes down LSU. This could very well be the Ole Miss team that Lane Kiffin gets into the playoffs. Last year, it was thought to have been Lane Kiffin's best shot at reaching the playoffs with Ole Miss due to him having Jackson Dart at quarterback and a bunch of NFL guys on defense. And with the amount of new faces that he was bringing into this season, it was kind of hard to see Ole Miss picking up from where they left off last year, but they have, and their defense played fantastic against LSU. LSU's offense was completely boxed, and if it wasn't for that fluke touchdown that they got early in this game and Ole Miss offense getting out to a slow start, Ole Miss would have won this game by at least 3 touchdowns. LSU, for them to reach the CFP this year, their defense has to completely put this team on their back and do some extraordinary carrying, because their offense, it's a struggle for them to crack 20 points. Garrett Nussmeier still looks like the Garrett Nussmeier of last year, making reckless decisions, turnovers left and right. LSU's offensive line couldn't keep him upright, and they also didn't give him a ground game that could take a little bit of the pressure off him. LSU's offense is just in disarray. Brian Kelly knows it. He tries to play it off as them working through some growing pains, but we've gotten through the first quarter of this season, and we've seen LSU now in a few SEC games, and their offense has struggled in every single one of them. You struggled against Florida, and you struggle against Ole Miss, whose defense wasn't supposed to be as good as what they look like in this game. And I'm not really a huge fan of Pete Golden. As a matter of fact, I'm probably one of his biggest detractors, but he was coaching circles around Brian Kelly and LSU's offensive coordinator, man. He had a counterpunch for everything that LSU tried to do offensively. Ole Miss, the new quarterback that they have, Trinad Chamblas, I can't believe that he was playing Division II football. He is good enough to start on majority of top programs in America. Hell, if Florida State had him last year, they wouldn't have won just 2 games. He is a great quarterback. He has a good arm, good athlete. I salute Lane Kiffin for starting Trinad Chamblas over Austin Simmons. When you have a guy that was highly touted coming out of high school, you invest a year of development into him with a red shirt, you pay him a lot of NIL money, it's a tough decision to shy away from him and go for a guy that is fairly new to the team, that doesn't have that much experience playing this level of football compared to a guy like Austin Simmons. But Lane Kiffin, his scheme can turn any quarterback into a good one, I believe. I believe that he could have turned Anthony Richardson into a good quarterback. With the way that he just schemes guys open, he just makes it so easy and fun to play quarterback for him. And Austin Simmons, I don't necessarily think that he was trash. I actually thought he was pretty decent. It's just he struggled to take care of the football. Trinad Chamblas gives you the same thing that you get out of Austin Simmons, but without the turnovers. I am shocked that Ole Miss has been as good as what they've been after this first quarter of the season. I didn't think they would suck, but I did think that the defense was going to take a step back. The defense is still as good as what it was last year. If not, it may just be a tad bit better, because I think the secondary is a little bit good. You don't just have one guy in Trey Amos. You got 2 really good coverage corners, and your safeties are also really good as well, and you're good against the run. LSU's offense is not playing up to its potential. They should not be struggling to crack 20 points. Garrett Nussmeier should not be struggling to get the ball to these receivers. He has one of the best receiving cores in all of college football. And yet when he's throwing these guys the ball, he's getting these guys almost sent to the hospital. He threw a hospital ball to Aaron Anderson, 2 of them. if Garrett Nussmeier continues to struggle, rather if it's injuries or not, Brian Kelly's going to have to start looking at Michael Van Buren. And Michael Van Buren, he's not a guy that's completely raw and no experience. He started a few games last year for Mississippi State and had a few big moments. So Michael Van Buren can play. Garrett Nussmeier, I know that Brian Kelly wants him to see it through. This is his final year. He has that number 18. They just don't hand that number out to anybody. But the guy has to start making plays. And with the way that Garrett Nussmeier has been playing, he's costing LSU, and their season is going to unravel if he doesn't step up and ends up playing like the guy that he was expected to play like before this season started. And he definitely isn't a first-round quarterback. We shouldn't even be mentioning first round and Garrett Nussmeier in the same conversation, because with how he just gives the football over like he's Santa's helper, I don't know any NFL team that would view that as franchise quarterback material. Franchise quarterback is somebody that when a game is on the line, they can go win it for you. Not somebody that the game is on the line and you're kind of thinking twice about if you want to put the ball in his hands.